Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano, and on today's program we get some holiday shopping safety tips from Paula Fleming of the Better Business Bureau. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, the sun has finally come out. It's chilly, 29 degrees. We'll have sunshine for the rest of the day today, and highs climbing only into the mid-30s, so we'll do a little bit of melting. It'll freeze up again tonight, though, as temperatures dip into the mid-20s. Nice day tomorrow, lots of sunshine, calm winds, and high right around 40 degrees. Wind picking up on Thursday with sun and clouds, highs only in the upper 30s, and then it really warms up here on Thursday. It comes with some rain, though, in the afternoon and in the evening. Highs Thursday into the mid-40s. Looks like the rain will continue into part of Friday as well. But again, sunshine and 29 degrees in Quincy right now. Checking news for you today, there will be at least two candidates in the special election to fill the Ward 4 Quincy City Council seat. Joel Bonaventura and James Devine have had their nomination papers certified by the city clerk's office. Former Ward 4 Councilor Jay Davis, Matthew Lyons, and Sharon Santolo have also taken out papers, but as of this past Friday, they had not yet returned them. Candidates have until tomorrow to submit the names of at least 50 registered voters in Ward 4 to get their names on the ballot. Now, if there are more than two candidates, a preliminary election will narrow the field down to two on January 17th, and a final election will be held on February the 7th. Quincy City Clerk Nicole Crispo says there will be mail-in voting for this election. However, mail-in ballots will not be sent out automatically.
Anyone who wants a ballot by mail, we do have the applications online. They can download the form and send it back to us, mail it, of course. There's, or you can call the office and we can help you with that. But those that used a 2022 request for a mail-in ballot, that will not be available for this coming special. So be aware that you need to fill one out every calendar year. So if you wish to partake in the special Ward 4 elections, you will need to fill out a new request to vote by mail. And we can get that out to you by mail or upon request.
That Ward 4 seat was vacated last month when Brian Palucci resigned after being appointed a district court judge. The winner of the special election will serve out the remainder of the term and can then run for the full two-year term in the 2023 city election. City Council President Noel DeBona is handling Ward 4 issues until a new councilor is elected. Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch feels that the average residential property tax increase of $195 is a good balance between maintaining city services while also helping homeowners. Last week, the City Council set the new property tax rates for the fiscal year 2023. The mayor says Quincy is still more affordable than many surrounding communities.
Who likes to pay taxes, Joe, and I get it. But at the same time, when you're paying a little bit more in taxes and your values are going up, for most people, their home is the biggest investment. So an increase in your investment year after year is a damn good thing. And so I know that has a two-sided coin. The other side is that those trying to break into the market, it's more challenging. And I've got 3 adult children that remind me of that all the time. So anyways, it's the old saying, it's like making sausage, sometimes doing these things, getting through the process. But I'm pleased we got it done. And I always say, and I've said it in this program a number of times, that is, we fall right in the middle on tax liability, if you will, on tax burden, but we're right at the top with services. And I don't care what you compare, whether it's libraries, senior services, response time for 911, school programs, parks and playgrounds. I could go on, Joe. But the point is, the people of the city get excellent service, and it costs money to do that.
The actual tax rates went down. However, residential property values increased 11% to an average of $602,000 for a single-family home. The average annual residential property tax bill in Quincy is $6,700. 77-year-old John Sullivan of Quincy is free after a court appearance last week. A Quincy District Court judge agreed to release Sullivan after he was charged with a hate crime and other offenses connected to an incident on Washington Street in Quincy Center on December 2nd. Police say Sullivan struck a man twice with his car, throwing him into a 10 to 15-foot open construction ditch, and then fled the scene. He allegedly yelled racial slurs at the Asian victim and his family and threatened to kill them. Sullivan was arrested after a witness followed him to Quincy Avenue in Braintree. The judge ordered that Sullivan wear an electronic monitoring device and post $10,000 surety. He has pleaded not guilty and is due back in court on February 10th for a pre-trial conference. A convicted drug dealer is charged with selling drugs in Quincy last week. Police say 45-year-old Joseph Rosa from Bridgewater sold cocaine to 45-year-old David Benson of Mansfield. This happened on Copeland Street in Brewers Corner last Wednesday night. Officers with the drug control unit said Benson got into a car driven by Rosa, then exited a short time later. Police say they confiscated cocaine from Benson and then stopped Rosa after a short car chase right near Furnace Brook Parkway. Quincy Police Canine Carl alerted to drugs. Officers recovered cocaine along with cash and a cell phone from Rosa. Police say Rosa was driving a car registered to a Quincy company. He was previously convicted of drug charges in federal court. That is our check of news today. Coming up, we chat with Paula Fleming of the Better Business Bureau. Get some holiday shopping advice next. Of course, the time of year lots of folks are shopping for the holidays, either online or in store. You want to be able to do that safely, so here to help us with that is Paula Fleming from the Better Business Bureau to give us some holiday shopping tips and advice. So Paula, thanks first of all for joining us. Really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you at this critical time of year.
Thank you for having me, and happy holidays.
Thank you, and the same to you and yours as well. Let's start with a little bit of a preview, if we could, about what the BBB is, and give us kind of its overall history and its mission, if you could.
Sure, of course. Well, the Better Business Bureau has been around for over 100 years, helping people find businesses and charities they can trust. We're a nonprofit organization. You can find all information at bbb.org. It's available free 24 hours a day. I mentioned we report on businesses, but also charities, and that website is give.org. We represent the Better Business Bureau in Eastern Mass, Maine, Rhode Island, and Vermont. So any business headquartered in those 4 states would fall under my purview. If we don't have information on a business that you're looking for, you can request that we create a business profile, and we'll do some due diligence and research. And typically we turn around a business profile between 3 and 5 days. You can always request a quote from a business if you're looking for a snow plow, for example, right now, or you can just do some research and read reviews, check out their ratings, see if they're accredited, and gather all factual information about a business.
Do you think, when it comes to shopping, Paula, do you think it's a good idea to kind of start with looking for BBB accredited businesses, or find your business and then see if they're BBB accredited?
Well, I would say it depends on what you're looking for. If you're online and you're searching for a specific product, it might be the hot item of the year, and you find a website that looks legitimate, take that offline and then go ahead and do the research at bbb.org. But then if you are looking for a fence or a car dealer, I would say start with the Better Business Bureau if you're looking for something like that. And then you can either request a quote via our website, and I always encourage people to get 3 or more quotes, or you can just simply do your research.
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, this is the time of year. Lots of folks are shopping online, shopping in store. I'm asking you to kind of give us some tips, some guidelines for things to look out for, and also things to be aware of when we are either online or in store to keep us from getting scammed.
Yeah, so we actually have the 12 scams of Christmas, and it's a list of things for your viewers to look out for and to be mindful of, so that it doesn't cut into your holiday cheer. One of those are misleading social media ads. A lot of us use social media as a way to communicate or keep in contact with friends and family members. We also use social media to check out businesses in our community. So there's multiple great ways of using social media, but scam artists know that and fraudulent businesses know that. So they target you via these platforms. So as you're scrolling through your feed, we want you to be wary of misleading advertising claims and products that seem too good to be true. So take it off the social media platform, and again, do some due diligence. If you see an ad that looks enticing, take it off the platform, do research, and then go from there.
And when it comes to doing that research, is it just as simple as doing an online search through your favorite search engine?
Sometimes it is that easy. Other times it's not. You have to do a little bit more digging. And we encourage people, read reviews, not only at Better Business Bureau, but online. Google reviews are also another resource. But ask family and friends if they have purchased a product. So there's a lot of research that can be needed. It's not always as easy as just going to BUB, unfortunately, but it's a great place to start.
So what are some, red flags, some warning signs, some indicators that the ad that you're looking at or the text or the email that you're looking at is not legit?
Right. So if there's misspelling in an ad, it seems too good to be true. So if the item typically has a dollar value around $100, but they're offering it for $20, that's a red flag. Oftentimes the ad can mirror a legitimate website. So again, this is why we say to take it off the platform. Don't ever give out your information, personal or financial, by just clicking on an unsolicited link. We encourage that. So you had mentioned, if you have an email or a text or a phone call coming in, don't act on urgency. Take it off, do your research. Don't provide the financial and personal information directly on there. A lot of these things, it all ends in the same. They want to get your personal information. They want to get your financial information. And you could be thinking, oh, wow, I found these tickets to a very sought after concert, for example, that was recently in the news. And these are a great price, or how fortunate am I that I even got tickets, but they may not be a great price. Buyer beware. You have to make sure that you protect yourself, your personal and financial information. So that's what we're encouraging this holiday season. We don't want to put a damper on the holiday cheer, but we want you to be educated and be safe.
Are you seeing this year, Paula, any particular scams or phishing texts or emails that are popped up that are related to you mentioned the concerts, I'm sure that's one of them, but anything else in specific that folks should be aware of?
Yeah, we have seen multiple scams reported to BBB Scam Tracker, which your viewers can look at, bbb.org/scam tracker. And these are reports on a con claiming your Amazon, your PayPal, your Netflix, or even sometimes your bank account has been compromised. So victims are claiming that they receive an email, call, a text message, which then goes on to say there's been suspicious activity on one of your accounts, which I mentioned the different platforms, and it further urges you to take immediate action. So then there's a sense of urgency and fear, and what they're doing is they're then collecting your information or downloading malware. So again, take that off of the platform, log on directly to your Amazon account, PayPal, Netflix, call your bank, find out if it is actually true before you click or provide any information.
Yeah, and I'm asking these questions speaking from personal experience, believe it or not, because I've been just inundated with obvious phishing texts and emails. My pocket is buzzing as we speak right now with more of them coming in, I'm sure. And a lot of them have been addressed to my mother, who died 5 years ago. So, is that something else to be aware of?
Yeah, I'm sorry about your loss, and yes, that is something to be aware of. Oftentimes they have outdated information. So again, I encourage you to block whenever possible. If it's an incoming phone call, block it. If it's suspected scam, oftentimes it'll say it on your phone. And then if it is in regards to, excuse me for 1 second. If
Sounds
it
like
is in
Santa's
your-
coming down the chimney there, Paula.
I know. You know what? One of the scams we're going to talk about is pet scams this holiday season, and my pet is actively being a little nuisance behind me. But yes, you have to be cautious. They will use people who are deceased, their names, and or they're unaware that they're deceased. So yeah, there's different variables going to that. My best advice, and I often hear people say, well, we pick up the phone and we kind of go back and forth with them. That's not going to do anything, unfortunately. You're just wasting your time. I know you're trying to irritate the person on the other end, but it just doesn't work. So I encourage people to block phone numbers. If it's an unsolicited email, typically if you scroll to the bottom, you can unsubscribe. If it's a scam, just block it, delete it. Don't click on any links. You have to be cautious.
Sure. Why don't we go with the pet scam, seeing as you brought it up, because that's not one that I've heard of so far this year.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Better Business Bureau just did a study regarding average losses in puppy scams rising. So we encourage people, in the entire scam, and all the details can be found at bbb.org. But the puppy scam remains consistently profitable for scammers because there's multi-tiers of this scam. So we encourage people, if you're interested in purchasing a pet, puppy, cat, whatever it may be this holiday season, make sure that you are using a reputable business breeder, or you're adopting and doing some research from the company in which you're adopting. If you are providing a down payment, you want to make sure that you're not wiring the money and you're not giving out your bank account information, that you're protecting yourself. We want people to be happy, and obviously I'm one of the furry pet owners, but I did do my due diligence and I found a B2B accredited business and purchased my puppy through them. We were unfortunately not able to adopt as we would like to. We had more specifications we had to meet. But again, if puppies, cats, anything, if you're purchasing or you're adopting, make sure you do your research. There's so many scams that surround this, and we really want to protect people. And it's really emotional. If you have your heart set on picking up this puppy and then it never comes, not only are you out the money, but the emotional toll and loss for your family. So again, you can do research or find out more details on this study that we did at bbb.org.
Okay. If you do find yourself the victim, Paula, of some type of a scam, are there things that the Better Business Bureau can do to help you, or what would you recommend that folks do?
Yes, obviously we want people to report it to BUB.org scam tracker. It helps us to monitor. So I'll tell you, in 2017, when we launched Scam Tracker, we had 884, and I apologize, I have to look at the stats. I just want to make sure I'm correct.
Sure.
884 reports on puppy or pet scams, which was nearly $500,000 value losses. Wow. In 2022, January through September, we had nearly 1,600 with over $1 million, and that's January through September of 2022 alone. So as you can see, it's rising, and we want just people to be extra cautious, especially if you're using different apps. Some people use Zelle, some people use Venmo to purchase these, and it's nearly impossible to get your funds back. So be cautious, exercise caution when you're trying to find the perfect pet for your family this holiday season.
Can we talk a little bit about some safety protocols for in-store shopping? People still go out and do a little holiday shopping in stores. Some things to be aware of.
Yeah, make a list. I encourage people to do research up front, do some comparison shopping, because obviously there's some great deals going on. But if you know you're going to the local mall, just do a little bit of research up front. There might be, your son or daughter may have a perfect pair of sneakers on their list, right? Just do some comparison shopping to get your best deal. Make a list, make a budget, and try and keep to that budget. And if there's offers that you see, buy one, get one free, but the cost is a little higher, do you actually need the extra free one? What are you going to do with it? So just keeping on track to keep your financial, your bank account on a good path, I think is important. But also I encourage people, if you're doing online shopping, use one credit card. If you're doing in-store shopping, use a different one. It helps in the end. And keep your receipts, keep everything together, especially with gift cards, because we hear of gift card scams. keep those receipts and just make sure you're organized. It will help you if you have any returns. And if it's in store versus online, just being organized and using one credit card for each, and it's an extra layer of protection as well, because you can dispute a charge on your credit card if you're unhappy with the quality, or if it's a counterfeit product that you ordered online that you thought was legitimate but turns out counterfeit or a look-alike. Or if the product is never received, or if you're in store, you make the purchase, they don't have it in stock, they're shipping it to your house, you don't receive it in time. Again, these things all happen during the holiday season. The best thing to do, keep organized, keep everything together, get receipts, read the fine print.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought up that issue, especially if you have disputes. Can the BBB kind of go to bat if you have a dispute with a retailer with regards to either their return policy? Yes, okay.
Yes, we act as a third impartial party. So what we do is try to, we always encourage people to go to the business first and foremost. So whether it's a small business in your local community and, in your downtown area, a lot of them are having holiday shopping markets, or whether it's a big box retailer. We will act as a third impartial party to try and navigate after you've initially reached out to them and tried to resolve the problem. Okay. Then you would file a formal complaint with us, and we would try and work to recoup the funds or get you the product that you would like if it was not received. And that goes for even, work that you might have done right now. If it's, salting and plowing your home, if you're not happy with that, and you are not getting anywhere with the business, and you want a refund, or you want to have it redone, we would act in that manner as well. So whether it's a product or a service, the BBB is here to support both the business and the consumer.
Okay.
And that's whether it's a member or not.
Yeah, that's interesting. So even if it's not a member, you'll be able to at least provide some guidance. Right.
Yes. Yes. That is ideally what we would like, is for the business and the consumer to come to, a happy medium or agreement and rectify the problem. And oftentimes the business, they will respond to us a little bit faster even if they're a non-member. And if they're a member, they have to respond to us. So that's one of the standards in which you have to meet to be a member.
Yeah, it's a great point, because I think so many times the first course of action for folks is they take to social media when they have a complaint or a dispute, either to social media of that company or to their own social media, when they do have legitimate forms of recourse.
Correct. I agree with you 100%.
Sure. How does one become a member of the BBB, Paula? What are the criteria?
Sure. Well, we have roughly 8,000 members in our territory, Eastern Mass, Maine, Rhode Island, and Vermont, and they apply for membership through our website, bbb.org. There are different membership tiers, and obviously it's what the business needs. So a small business has to be in business, any business has to be in business for 6 months, for example. You have to be properly licensed and insured if your industry deems necessary in the state in which you're headquartered. There's a number of different criteria they have to meet, then they would apply, and then we have a vetting system, and then you would either be approved or denied into the membership of the Better Business Bureau. There is a fee, and that is how we go back into the community. We attend and we educate in each of our 4 states, seniors, high schools, businesses, consumers in general, and that helps for us to be an active participant within our community.
Okay, we've been talking so much about online activity. There are so many online-only businesses now. Can they be members of the BBB?
Yes, they can. Yep. Any business, if they're headquartered in our 4 states, yes.
And is there a decertification process if somebody is going to be taken off the BBB list?
Yes, we review data. So if the business does not adhere to standards, so if they do not respond to complaints in a timely manner, if they're acting unethically, we do then unfortunately remove them from membership.
Okay, and I'm sure there's a process where they can rectify.
There is yes, yep. It's a very detailed process, and it's a case-by-case basis. Obviously, every case is different, but an example. And we actually don't approve all members. People think if you pay immediately into membership, that is not how it is. We average about a dozen businesses are not approved for accreditation in our local area due to many different circumstances. But we do evaluate each and every business. And then also, say we have and again, that's about a dozen on a monthly basis. And we actually do not do a lot of, we are not a government agency, so we cannot shut down a business, but we do work with government agencies to keep updated on what's transpiring. So whether it's the Attorney General's office for each state or the Office of Consumer Affairs, the FTC, the FBI, we work with associations, AAA, AARP. So we're all working together to, either keep education in the communities about scams that are transpiring or businesses that are acting unethically, and really keeping the money in the pockets of the small businesses that and the larger businesses that are acting ethically.
Paula, I always appreciate the opportunity to talk to you because you always have some great information on how to keep us safe. And really, you want to wish you and your colleagues a very happy and healthy holiday season.
Thank you so much. Same to you. And if anyone has any information or questions or any tips that they would like to hear more about, please feel free. You can connect with us on social media platforms. We are on Vimeo, we are on Instagram and Facebook, and we are very active on all of those. But also you can go to our website, bbb.org. If there's something you can't find and you say, hey, I want more, we're happy to look at and do some research on our end, because we are here to help support businesses and consumers.
Great. Well, thank you so much again, and we'll check in with you in the new year.
Great. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Checking the forecast for you once again for the rest of the day today. We'll have increasing sunshine and temperatures climbing into the mid, maybe upper 30s. Another chilly night tonight, partly cloudy, lows mid-20s. Tomorrow looks really nice. A lot of sunshine, a little milder, right around 40 degrees. Mix of sun and clouds here Wednesday, kind of brisk with highs in the upper 30s, and some wet and warm rain here on Thursday with a high in the mid-40s. Special thanks going out to Paula Fleming for joining us today from the Better Business Bureau. Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching. Friday here in the program, it's John Paul, the car doctor from AAA. Don't forget our website's available for you anytime, qatv.org. You'll find our latest programs there. There's news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great week.